All right. Hello and welcome to Business in Lahles, session 11. We'll go around, see how everyone's week was before jumping into game tonight. So let's start usually at the end of the list. Krev, how was your week?
Good, good. Just crazy busy with work. Been in like training sessions for a new system that we're getting at work, and it's like 5 hour conference calls for that training every day this week. So it's been kind of like droning, but I'm looking forward to D&D.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, it is.
Be
But
part
Trace,
of the work. Oh,
Trace, how
my
was your
weekend.
week?
Good.
Good. That it?
Yep.
Damn it. Uh, Brecken?
Doing good. Continuing with the baby stuff. Still very cute.
Can it
Well,
speak soon?
I'd hope so.
oh
Kinda
shit,
walks-
it went ugly. No, I'm kidding. Like,
I also got a Samsung NVMe SSD.
oh neat.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked it up.
How big?
They went on sale a couple days ago on Amazon. 1 terabyte.
Nice.
Nice.
Do you have a motherboard that lets you boot from the NVMe?
Oh yeah, I've already moved over to it.
Oh, you have? Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm struggling to figure that UEFI settings out.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
it is.
Onyx and Kadir, how was your week?
Doing great.
Wonderful.
Wow, you all sound super excited.
It definitely sounded like sarcasm there.
Battle Royale this weekend. The Battle Royale, where I'm gonna whoop ass.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Team 1's
too.
gonna beat Team 2.
I just can't wait to see what shenanigans and chicanery everyone comes up with. That's it.
No spoilers.
I don't think you can give spoilers on something that's just between friends. But
Or a kid.
I don't know. I'll try. So, a quick recap. So the last we left our adventurers, it was April 8th, year 1101, nearing 6 p.m. Just after slaying the snake-like iron creature, Kadir begins expecting the odd object and to discover its power source, finding it to be powered from water. With the rest of the group being in a bit of shock in the inner workings of this odd creature, and after conversing a bit, each of you decide to take a look inside the abandoned house that lays in the middle of this oasis. However, after taking a bit of time inside, after noticing nothing, you each do spot some odd-colored planks underneath a table, and as Krev struggles a tad with removing the planks with a crowbar, and then receiving assistance from Trace, these planks are removed. Once doing so, a hatch is revealed, and after the hatch is unlocked, stairs are seen leading down roughly 15 foot. But before deciding to go down and explore this path, the rest of the house deems necessary to be explored, all empty except for one room containing a skeleton, which was holding a symbol of Deanna, the goddess of death, clutched to his chest. With nothing of importance being found, each of you decide to venture forth and down the stairs to find where this path below of the abandoned house leads to. And after making your way through the tunnel, and nearly an hour has passed when you walk out noticing the sun is in the western horizon, and more sand lays before each of you upon a ruined structure. In the distance, to the east, a stone disc is noticed with a chest sitting upon it, and two swords stuck into the stone. Once you were beginning inspecting inspecting these objects, two iron creatures begin making their way out, and a trap is sprung. During the fight, just like with the other iron creatures before, and knowing how these things work, these nuisance are quickly dispatched. And with the surrounding area seeming to be still once more, each of you begin looking over the chest and the swords noticed earlier. As Krev begins casting Detect Magic, Kadir examines the chest, and Trace looks over the ruins in case anything was overlooked. But after confirming the chest is not locked and the magic hue to be of an adjuration scroll or a school, The Kadir opens the chest, finding it to be full of coins and a couple of scrolls. Then, deciding to remove the swords, once the first sword is removed, a trap seems to be set off, although moving slowly. Deciding to get the other, once the second sword is removed, the trap seems to be moving much quicker. Luckily, each of you escape what Kadir explains as the pits of hell. But once escaping this area and returning to the oasis, each of you gets a much needed rest. The next morning on April 9th, you all continue on. The next few days being quiet until April 11th, as eyes begin appearing on each of you, but fade just as quickly as they had arrived. And on the morning of April 12th, you all lay eyes on the city of Mido. Coming up upon the road, which does start to turn and head south after a long time of traversing just the plains and the desert. Each of you will see a decently sized city, mainly of wood and stone structures. Around the city is a wall. From the distance, it appears to be anywhere between 20 and 30 foot tall. As you make your way up, continuing on, you will see that the gates are open. People going out quite quickly, but the people coming in moving quite slow. Well, it seems that it's gonna be a bit before we make it in.
Remember, guys, no spell casting here.
I wouldn't dream of it.
Now, my thing is technically not spell casting, but maybe it's too magic adjacent.
Yes, I do not believe I would risk it in your case.
Well,
Alright.
to be fair, Rickett, you can make a drink disappear like no one else.
Haha.
I don't know if it necessarily is specific to spell casting, but I think in general
that's
magic
a
is
good
bad.
one, Master Trace.
And from my hat, I will produce vomit.
Yes. I think in general it's best to just avoid using magic at all, whether spell or not.
And by the way, just for the record, Trace's common is getting a lot better.
Very good.
Now that he's learning common.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get us in this line. It seems that it'll be about 30 minutes before making our way in. Is there anything that I should be aware of?
Oh,
Besides
just
the
all these
magic
drugs
thing?
back here.
You have what?
Nothing. I'm kidding.
Be careful. Watch out.
Well, onwards and upwards, shall we?
Like when we see people passing, that you said there's a lot of people around, people passing by, etc., right?
Ask that one more time, I'm sorry.
There's like people passing by, right?
Yes, people are leaving.
What kind of does people appear to be armed?
No, most of them seeming to be farmers heading out and things of that nature. Just go into like the farmlands that surround the city, and you'll see like woodcutters, just people of trade mainly heading
Okay,
out. Nothing,
Fair enough.
nothing of like a militant suit.
I'll keep my weapons to myself then, and not draw them. That is.
All right. Well, so we are looking for Samira from the Wheat Civet Guild. Perhaps we would like to, while we are here, perhaps we would like to make some sales. Get some more, maybe attempt to trade in this. Attempt to trade in the sword. The well-crafted long sword, as well as the rest of the. Well, I mean, we have quite a bit. the armors, the clubs, the morning stars, the shields. The list goes on. There is. I suppose we could start our own shop. With all of this.
Yes.
Well,
I
well,
can't really use the second longsword. I can't really use it, unfortunately.
well, I'm using one of them. Uh,
Right. Yes, you have one. I don't believe you're able to dual wield them.
no, but no, I just want to have one. But like,
Yes.
depend if they're worth a lot, we'll sell them, of course. But I would like to have it. It's nice having a plus one
Yes,
weapon.
I was referring to the second one.
Okay, good. But this city, does it appear to be like? Would we assume there's a lot of trade in here with weapons? Wouldn't it be like better in Lahles?
I believe that is the case. Yes, unless something has changed. I have not been here for a while.
Maybe look for raw materials here to craft weapons.
Yes, that could perhaps be a smart decision. So yeah, I mean we're so I guess everyone's in line waiting to get sorted into town.
Why? What's with the line? Why is there one?
Not sure.
Could I walk up towards the front of the line so I could see what's happening, see what that looks like?
Sure. As you make your way forward, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Will do. $14, not much.
I'm assuming it's just him rolling.
Well, yeah, he's the only one that wanted to go up, or the only one that stated it. As you move forward and go take a look at the front of the line, it does take a few moments to make your way up there. And you'll see most people passing, having carts, wagons, some just on foot with their belongings in hand. Mainly of a human race. You don't see many other races around this area as you're making your way forward. And when you get to the front, you will notice that there are a couple of guards, four to be exact. Some, two dressed in chainmail with spears, and two wearing robes. The two wearing robes are waving their hands, and you'll see a bit of a hued light coming off of them as they seem to be searching and going over each individual making their way in.
Can I make any itineration for what they're looking for?
Sure, you can give me an Arcana check.
Sure.
Neat.
Well,
You're not sure. It does seem to ring a bell, but it's fairly common, but you just can't put your finger on it.
okay, got it. Are there any other ways that I can see into town, like gates gates with like lesser people, or any other ways I know or any other ways I know of?
Mainly the main gates. There's like little secret entrances here and there, but none that would be. Well, I don't want to say secret entrances. It would be more like ways to get around it and maybe coming up through the docks area, but not anything that a cart could get to.
Okay, understood.
Make your way back.
Yep.
All right. Well, if no one wishes to do anything else specifically, we'll just move forward to where each of you are next in line, and the two just ahead of your party begins to make their way forward. Oh, I need to check you over.
Actually, there is one thing I would like to do beforehand.
Hmm.
Uh, I would like to take all the equipment and insert it into my lamp. Everything from the loot bar.
Doesn't that take you some time to cast?
Nope, it's not a cast. It's an action.
Ooh, I thought I remembered reading that it was a cast, but okay. Yeah, I think that you would have more than enough time to do so. Just for the record, since we're getting like above like that double-digit session mark, when I'm asking you guys, like, try to come up with that stuff before we start doing the RP again.
Okay.
Just as a friendly reminder. But with the couple in front of you beginning to make their way forward, oh, need to check you over. Huh? You won't find any of that magic on me. Mm-hmm. Two guards in the robes will begin to step forward. You'll see most of them dressed in like a beige, wheatish kind of color. Each of the guards having a pendant placed upon the left part of their cloaks that drip over their shoulder of a wheat-colored civet. Which, if you're not familiar with a civet, the best way I can describe it for you is that it kind of looks like a badger.
Does it appear they like go through the wagons like thoroughly?
No, they don't really seem to be too much of an attendance of what is in or on your person as much as just going over you with like this huge magic from their hands. But as they go over the couple in the front, one of them will give a nod to the other guard with a spear, and as the guard with the spear walks forward, he'll say, "All right, make sure you keep this on." And he'll pin what appears to be a shell-like pendant, like kind of pulled over in a like convex style, putrid out like a, and you'll see that there's slits cut over the top of it where you can see through just barely.
Ask, what is this?
This, as he pins it on, just to make sure that this one is unable to cast any magic.
Which one is he pointing to?
The couple in the front, the one on the left, seems.
Oh,
to
I thought
have-
this was us. I didn't know he was talking about people in front of us.
Nope. And then he will say, "Now, if you remove it, we'll know."
Can I insight that?
Sure.
I'm not including guidance because I'm not casting a spell, but, so it's only an 8.
Yeah, it seems legit.
Yeah.
No problem. Remember, if you're caught using magic here, you'll be hanging from them up there.
Can
with
I
them.
tell? Can I tell if that person looks like they can use magic, or are they just putting this on everyone?
Well, they only put it on one of the two that went in front.
Okay.
As you take like a look over, it doesn't seem that there's like much of a magic capability from this female human. She's quite young and seems to be in like her teenage years. Taking a quick glance at her, and if she does have any magic capabilities, they're very limited.
Gotcha.
How many guards is around?
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
13.
As you're taking a look around, you see the 4 down here, and then you see 6 archers up on the walls as well. None of them with their bows drawn or pointed. A couple will glance over and down below, just checking, but most just seem to be patrolling the wall.
So I'm get this right. They appears to be. They put a pendant on people so they can't cast magic. Is that what's going on?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're all turning us into Hufflepuffs. Yeah, see the badges.
I'm going to cast
Yeah.
disguise self and make it so I have an emblem. Sorry, so I have a what do you call it on me.
All right. Anything specifically you'd like to add to it?
No, I mean I assume. I mean the woman, the couple in front of us just got one right. I can see exactly what it looks like. So
Yeah,
I
you
copy
got a
it, so
pretty
it's
good
on-
idea.
So I copy it so it's on my clothes. Exactly how it is in them. And then I just walk. And then I walk in front of our party and just like walk past the guards, like showing it off to them and walk past them.
Give me 1 second to check something.
I
So
think
it's
I'll.
including clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person.
Yes. You said disguise self, correct? I just want to make sure that I have this right.
Yes.
So this does take verbal and somatic components. And with you guys being next in line, I'm gonna roll. There
Oh,
was
no.
a bit of a conversation going on. And as you begin to cast this, one of the guards in the robe will place her hand over to you, begin to mutter some incantations, and before you feel your spell go off, you feel it be extinguished.
Oh shit.
Listen,
Okay.
you all might be new here, but if you try that again, you will die.
How did he see that?
Got a natural 19 on a perception check.
Damn, I just thought that was last time that like weapon components was like nothing. Seeing as you guys have cast guidance, it's not so easy.
No, he didn't use guidance. He specifically said he wasn't.
Oh, he used it in the start.
I
Okay,
think-
fair enough.
Yeah, he just didn't check it off.
Fair enough.
Well, then it seems that you'll be needing one of these. And then they'll begin to motion the couple in front of you along. And as they make their way in, if any of you would just like to be forthright and make this a lot quicker.
I'll interrupt. Oh man, now I won't be able to use my strong wizard magic here. Oh, sorry, team. I'll take that pendant.
Damn, and you are our only magic user.
I know. Jeez.
Give me a deception check at advantage.
Is that me or him? I'm assuming me.
I'll let you both roll it, or like one apiece, like normally, or one of you can roll it at advantage.
Okay. I'm not good at it.
I have a minus
Just
one.
saying. I'm a 0. So do you want me to just roll advantage, or do you want to roll
I
too?
think story-wise, it makes sense for me to roll it,
Okay. Sure.
but I'll take that
So
advantage.
roll at what? Disadvantage?
So we're each rolling, or what?
Make the call.
Yeah, I'll do advantage. It's fine.
Okay, then you're just rolling. Okay. Shit.
Right. I think it's going to be safe to say that you'll all be needing one of these, then, yes?
Especially me, the strong wizard. Abracadabra.
Especially you. Well, then. And a female guard will begin to placing a pendant upon you. And then move over to you, Onyx. Would you rather the search or just to be honest and true?
You can search me if you like.
Very well. And she'll begin to wave her hands over you, and as they begin to glow with this like light blue in color. Not too strong, but I do sense a little bit of magic within you. Begin to place a pendant upon you as well.
May I ask, what's the point of this whole charade?
Make sure that no one is able to cast magic within these walls.
Yes, but again, what's the point of this charade? I don't understand. Why?
It's how we protect our city.
From what?
From warring tribes down to the south. From Moga to the north, if it deems necessary.
Are they all spellcasters?
Focusly, and some more stealthy than others.
Hmm.
And then she'll like gesture towards the pendant. Well, shall I search you as well?
Sure.
Begin doing the same thing. Yes. Here. And places a pendant upon you. And you, elf. I already know that you need one. And what about you? Your face seems quite familiar. You're definitely from around here, aren't you?
It has been a while. Well, go ahead.
And as she does,
I'll set down. I'll set down my lamp in the cart and step over to her.
And as she does, she'll, give you an odd look. I think to be safe. And then she'll place a pendant on you as well. Well, then, as I'm sure you heard my friends say here before, if you take them off, we will know. But these will prohibit your magic and arcane capabilities while inside the city. When you leave any of the gates, you can keep it or return it. The choice is yours.
Hey, now, you didn't check Jenkins.
I don't think that that is necessary.
How dare you?
Wow, somebody's good at their job.
He
Sounds
is
like
my,
a real Hufflepuff.
He is my best wizard acolyte.
Well, if you insist.
So are you really at war?
War is only another day away. If you always be prepared for it, then you're at least able to protect yourselves more than that just lay themselves down and find peace in everything.
Can I insight to see if this is really the legit reason why they're doing this? Like, are they really think they're at war, or is this just a cover?
I would like to do the same thing because it makes no sense. They let us keep our weapons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that insight?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
would like to do something.
I would like to look at the lady who just searched me, and I'll and I'll ask her, "Are you sure this is really necessary? I tend to be quite absent-minded. I would be quite afraid of knocking this off."
It's completely necessary.
Eh?
The orders from Samira herself.
Ah, well, we are just on our way to see Samira. Whereabouts would she be? We are part of an envoy. How do you say, VIPs, to see Samira.
I'm not sure what that means, but if you have business with her, you'll find the guild hall towards the center of the city. And with each of your insight checks, she's definitely hiding something. You can obviously tell that this is just a bullshit excuse for whatever reason that they're searching everybody.
Well, the trade's just going to continue. But good to know.
I don't think we should start a fight here or anything like that. Let's just continue. We can ask Samira herself. Samira's a she, right?
Yeah, from what
Okay.
you've been told from Bragdar.
Alright. So, are we going to the markets first, or are we going straight to Samira?
Well, I don't want to be here. This is a very strange situation, so we should move with haste.
I imagine Kadir might have business here. This is his home.
True.
Yes, I suppose we. I suppose we do. We should make our way to the markets first.
Do you know the markets here? Are they, we get a fair price here, or should we wait till we're back in Lahles?
No, we should make our sales here.
Alright.
Well, we'll step forward into the city. In the going to the markets first.
Okay. So, unless there's anything specifically that you don't want to sell, I can begin tallying it up, but it will take a moment. Because there is a lot of stuff in there.
Did you want to just tell us afterwards or something?
I mean, yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless
Yeah.
there's anything that we can just move forward and then I can catch you guys up. But I just
believe they
wanted to
only-
make sure that if there's anything you wanted to keep, like, remove it now, and then I'll know what to begin putting together.
I believe it was just Trace keeping one of the two longswords.
There are some maps I was keeping in there. I'm gonna pull those.
Okay.
I mean, if you
I-
want, you can put it on like a thing like keep, and then everything below that, like I'll know not to do, kind of thing.
Good point.
Whatever.
Oh.
I'm just trying to think of easy ideas.
Although I think we might have been keeping the scrolls as well for Erica or Onyx.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's why I was saying, like if you just want to organize it, I can have it done like while we're on our break or something of that nature.
Sure.
Sure. So, in that case,
Because you literally do have enough to open a shop.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and
How much does it cost to open a stall here?
an arm and a leg, friend.
Well, to be fair, we do have that our servant, right? Maybe he can sell it for us while we do other stuff.
Yes, everything's in the. Wait, where did it go?
Wait, what?
The stuff's
Trace
not
looks-
here.
Yes, do not worry. I have it. It is in a safe place.
Oh my.
But again in Elvish. Jeeves understood Elvish, right?
I don't believe any of you have talked to him in Elvish.
Oh, I tried to say, Jeeves, do you understand me in Elvish?
No.
And just kind of like look at you and respond in common. What did he just say?
Okay, as we saw in common, you have trader experience.
I. When you live to be as old as I am, you have a little of experience in everything.
How about this? We go to the market, we turn this wagon into a shop and make Jeeves sell the stuff while we go take care of business.
Might take some time, but I can do such a thing.
Hey, you got a card. What do you guys say?
Yes, I mean, I suppose that would be a way to make some gold out of this, but well, no clue how long we will actually be here. I would be okay just selling this off to some shop.
Okay.
What do you all prefer?
Hmm. Well, you think we'll get a better deal selling to a shop, or
I think I think we would have a better chance selling it ourselves if in our off time if that is what we choose.
individually? Yes, that probably makes sense. You get more from buyers rather than shops that try to rip you off.
I'm
They try to resell and make their own profit, so they're going to undersell you
correct.
or lowball you. So that
We,
makes sense.
so I think like if we sell it back to a shop, we get 50%, but if we try to sell it ourselves, we could probably try to get like 75 or something.
Well, maybe we do
Yeah, it
that
goes
with
off
the
of like
higher.
your persuasion check, I think.
Maybe we save the higher ticket items to do that with. Maybe the sword and I don't know what else we had that were
Well,
of higher
actually,
value.
most of the equipment would be worth selling off that way. Very well, Trace. You have sold me on your idea. A first sale.
Wonderful.
So we can spend. So maybe let's go speak to Samira first, and then we'll come back. We'll maybe in like our off time. We'll in our off time we can do that.
Makes sense.
I'm sure we'll be here for a day or two while we wait for something.
Yeah.
I'm sure Samir will ask for power help in return in some way, so that's very probable. Have you spoken with her before?
I have not. Do you, would I be able to roll a history check to know if she has some kind of reputation around here? I'm assuming she does.
Oh, yes, please do.
It's okay.
So you would know her to be of a very high intelligence individual. Decently tall, for being a human, and her reputation of her beauty as well. Um, always carrying like a burden upon her shoulders anytime that you would have laid eyes upon her. Um, she would have just seemed like she's carrying the weight of the world upon her. But due just of being a guild leader.
All right. Well, in that case, let's make our way to the Wheat Civic Guild.
Yes.
Agreed.
So being from here, Kadir, it takes you a moment to get your footing back in Mito, but once you kind of start making your way through the streets, you begin to see some familiar signs, and you can make your way through this city pretty quickly, leading everyone directly to the Wheat Civet Guild Hall. From outside, you all can begin to hear the sounds of a tavern below, in a relatively close manner to how the Cornsilk Rat Guild Hall is made, with a tavern on the first floor and the doors being open. You can see guild members and civilians making their way in. The civilians being easily distinguished from not having a pendant, while each of the guild members are wearing theirs proudly. Some even having the guild's emblem tailored upon their cloaks.
And everyone has these anti-magic emblems on them.
Give me a perception check from that point with that question.
Okie dokie.
And while you're rolling that, each of you will see a 3-story building, polished stone on the first floor. The second and third story being made of a dark polished wood. From having a little bit of experience from around the city, Kadir, and Trace, your woodworking skills as well, and Kadir's and yours on top of that, not to mention, you would know that these are made, this dark polished wood is that of a red oak. Quite common in these parts, but beautiful in its appearance when shaved down and used correctly. Inside, you can begin to see the well-decorated tavern and what appear to be these shields that hang upon the walls, each representing that of a trophy. One, a green dragon's claw. Bones, another of bones from a very large humanoid-style creature that each of you presume to be giants. And a blue fish-like tail with the word underneath written in common inscribed upon the trophy. You will see it says Marrow. With your perception check, as you're taking a closer look at that in particular thing, you'll notice that none of the guild members seem to have this pendant that each of you are wearing, but a good majority of the civilians that you've passed upon your way here, and some making their way in and out of the guild hall, do have this pendant.
Would we maybe infer that it's based on your rank in the city, whether you're restricted or not allowed to use magic, or
It's likely that members of the guild get to use magic, but outsiders don't. Kind
Let's
of like,
ask.
I believe.
maybe
I was going to
show
say that's
your
actually correct, Kadir. The guild members having what you would be listed under special privileges, and what you would have gathered thus far, any having a sense of trace of magic upon them will have be bestowed this pendant that each of you are wearing.
These
So-
are the protectors of Mido, just as we are the protectors of Lahles.
Do they have their own patch for those in the guild?
Yes, they're all wearing the like a wheat colored circled pendant in the center, kind of resembling what each of you have from the Cornsilk Rat, but in the center being a bit different, and it is that of a civet.
Do you think we should ask someone to see if we can get the same benefits?
We probably need to speak with Samira first. Maybe she can. Well, if we're to ally with the guild here, that might be enough. If we show who we're with, provided they're not uneasy towards our guild, like those to the north and south that they keep pronouncing.
Yes.
Well, I just hope they're not hostile towards our guild.
Well, We would not be asking them for aid if they were hostile.
No.
This
But-
this Samira, from what I know of her, she seems to be good folk. If anyone is like to help, it will be her. I will squeeze. I will squeeze on my perfume that I keep in my inventory. I originally would have bought it from Mito, so it's probably something local. And step up to go inside the guild.
You make your way in. You'll see a abundance of humans, male and female, kind of gathered upon this tavern area, ordering drinks. Some having a good time. Some you can see to be in a what appears to be a heated debate. Nothing physical, but definitely a couple of the patrons getting loud. Perhaps they've started drinking way too early in the day, with the sun barely peeking over like the walls at this point, nearing roughly 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. They just seem to be possibly enjoying themselves from the night before. But
Yes, certainly seems like home.
as you begin making your way in, um, you'll see a female human but kind of wiping the bar off with a cloth, and she'll give you a smile and a like a tilt of the head as you walk in. Well, hello there.
Hello. We are an envoy from a land far away. We seek Samira.
Well, don't you all? And as she kind of straightens up, placing her hands upon the bar, see this female has a slightly narrowed face with thick gray hair and gray eyes. A little bit of blemishes upon her skin as well, indicating her age. She's wearing some plain clothing stained with food and ale, and she has a couple of pouches hanging from her waist-side as well. Well, I'm sure that she will make her way through the guild, at least at some point in the day. If you have urgent business, I would encourage you to speak with Nalra Dawnshine or Orth Rapid Vigor.
All right. Excuse me while I get those names.
So-
I will copy and paste them for you.
Nice.
Thank you, because I can't fucking spell that.
I got Dawnshine, but good luck spelling Orth.
So does this appear to be like the same concept as in Lahles, where we can get free stuff, free food?
You would know from being in Lahles for a bit of time. Your free food came from the generosity of Renus for not ratting out his sons, and when you had joined the Cornsilk Rat, you had gotten free food and drink upon that as well.
I'm still going to look at her and say, "Rabbit?
We do have some rabbits, yes?
One, please."
Be a few moments. Just gotta roast it over the fire.
Oh, mostly raw, please.
Be slightly less time then. She gives you an odd look.
She slams it on the counter. Flat. Who is Nadra or Orth present?
She'll give like a little nod, gesturing over towards a corner of the tavern area, and you'll see that by where they're sitting in this slightly shaded corner from the light and the sun from outside, just to the right of them are two double doors, decently sized, made of wood, and they have these iron like brackets placed upon them as well, like an extra reinforced door. That's them over there.
Okay. Very well. Thank you kindly. I'll put a silver piece down on the counter.
Any drinks or just strictly business?
Business for now. Thank you.
Oh no, hold on there.
Let's not
yes.
have any hasty decisions.
Oh yes, the alcoholic wizard in our group.
Trace is going to wait for the rabbit, that's for sure.
Well,
I would
suppose
like-
that'll wait.
The way of the drunken spellbook, as we call it.
You just start whacking him with the book. It's fine. Yes, I would like a nice frosty pint.
Would you like that of honey mead, or perhaps a berry, or maybe even a
Do you have any cactus ale?
yes, of course.
It's a new city, record. Don't get too record.
That's right. New city, new me. I'll take a pint of that.
Right away. That will be just 1 silver piece.
Sounds fair.
And here is here it's probably going to be about time to get that rabbit ready. And are you sure you want it mostly raw?
A few minutes, but I want some of the blood. It's good for you.
Okay. Well, give me 5 minutes.
Like basically a bloody steak, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
After handing you your frosty pint of the cactus ale, you will 5 minutes later receive your rabbit. Still like a lukewarm temperature, enough to give it a little bit of coloring on the outside, but leaving most of it in the center still that bloodied middle.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I hope that's to your liking.
Perfect.
Yes, well, in that case, I'll be making my way over to Orthanara.
Same.
Well, as you two make your way over, when you first lay eyes upon the male human who you presume to be Orth, as indicated from the barmaid, you'll see that he has quite a large stature about him, in a rounded face to match. He has straight golden hair with narrow hazeled eyes and a that kind of poofs out into puffy cheeks, seemingly a bit overweight. You'll see that he has a fine raiment of clothing, pendants, and other sorts of jewelry. And as you begin to get a bit closer, you'll hear nip nip as a red fox like perches himself upon his shoulders and begins to poof out a bit, baring his teeth at each of you. In the other, you will see him with a pleasantly plump face as well. It seems that these two enjoy their meals quite a lot. With copper hair and brown eyes, wearing some modest garments, you do see a silver holy symbol hanging upon that droops from around his neck down to his chest. And as you begin to approach, well. People already coming over for business, I see. Look at those faces, Orth.
This is more
I see.
diplomacy than business.
Trace is going to look up from Rabbit. Hi. I continue eating.
I'll point to Rekid, who has a pint in hand, and I'll say, "Does this look like business to you, good sir?"
Well, then you need to loosen up your face. It's written all over you. Smile. It'll make you feel better.
Just take a long swig. Like, I'm a wizard, Kadir.
I'll crack a smile for that.
I'll give you inspiration for that.
Oh hell
That made
yeah!
me laugh. Probably
You're,
way more than it should have, too.
we came into town just recently, and your guards are very worried about war. It seems. Are you worried about attack?
No, no, no. It's just funny to keep the lower ones on their toes, you know?
Ah, I see. Well, are you familiar with Lahles, by chance?
Quite, yes.
Yes, we are from Lahles. You know the Corn Silk Rats Guild.
And he'll just, like, kind of, from this happy appearance, quite smiling and being quite loud, you'll see him kind of just sit back in the chair and then look over and say, "You hear that, Orth? The Corn Silk Rat." Yeah,
Yes,
everyone
We-
knows him.
we
We'll be frank. We need to speak to Samira. If you could direct us to her, then we would be on your way, and you can enjoy your merriment once again. We would not hasten to darken your door any further.
Well, let's not be so hasty. And by the way, even though she's not even here at the moment, she'll be back later this afternoon. Pull up a chair. Let's get to know each other a little better.
all right, sure.
Yes. Let's.
Can I insight to see if he's like just like not taking it seriously at all, or is he just like happy-go-lucky, or what? You know, is
Uh,
he
Yeah, give me
kind
an
of
insight
like
check.
okay?
And I'll call over the waitress, and I'll hold up a gold piece, and I'll say, "Yes, 5 more cactus ales. It's going to be a long morning."
And from your insight check, Krev, you'll know that, I mean, he is just quite like a happy-go-lucky individual from like his posture and how he's carrying himself. Seemingly smiling the entire time till you had mentioned the corn silk rat, and just seems to have a bit of a sour taste. Maybe just a healthy rivalry between the two guilds, you know, wanting to be the best,
Sure.
or whatever. But yes, you would know that he is a happy-go-lucky and just a very loud individual,
Okay.
seemingly to almost be screaming, which I don't want to do
No worries.
for us wearing headphones.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just kind of wanted to see where his head was at, and if he was just kind of like, you know, just kind of stuck up and not wanting to even talk to us, kind of thing, you know.
Just for curiosity, what kind of like clothes is it? Like fine, or is it even noble clothes he's wearing? Like what level are we talking?
The one that's doing most of the talking, Nalra, he seems to have like pretty decent, definitely not cheap. I would say like a middle upper class style, but the silver holy symbol that he's wearing, you can see, is pretty well made. If it wasn't a gift, it would definitely be pretty costly.
And do I recognize this symbol?
Give me a religious check.
I'm really good at those.
I doubt it.
See, I told you.
No, you got me. You would know this to be Zahina, the goddess of knowledge.
Oh,
Is that on Nara or Orth?
Nalra, that's on him.
and I assume like I don't know your pantheon by heart, but I assume that this is like a neutral god, right?
So, with the same kind of thing that was asked with Deanna, the goddess of death, you'll find that a lot of these gods tend to be fairly neutral, but people that having difference of opinions on them. So
Okay.
it's just mainly like how you view them. If you find gathering knowledge to be like a neutral aspect for the most part, then sure. Some
No,
like
I assume that
wizards.
seeing Trace being an elf and all, I think Trace would appreciate a god of knowledge or gods of knowledge.
I was gonna say if you're thinking of like our master wizard Rekid, then that might be a lawful good thing.
Lawful
Yeah, I get that.
drunk.
Lawful
drunk,
drunk.
Chaotic drunk.
Yeah, that seems more likely.
Yeah.
I mean, he was shooting a crossbow or getting crossbows
Yeah.
shot at him for fun. So.
Well,
Well, you're gonna just yell at Silly to bring us more cactus ale.
How else do you expect us to get to know you?
I like you, this guy. Guess it's never too early to start drinking, huh, Horth? I just kind of wish that you'd shut up.
I'm sure alcohol does not help that along. Perhaps I should apologize.
No, it doesn't. It gets worse.
Sounds like Orth needs a drink.
And then he'll begin to like pat the red fox and say, "It's okay, Ethan. They seem friendly."
I am very fond of animals. What's his
they
name?
taste they
Or her
taste
name?
good.
Ethan.
What'd you say, Ethan?
Ethan.
Yes.
It's a red
Very-
fox. If you're not familiar. Here,
Very,
you want to hold him?
sure. Very pretty animal.
All right, give me a animal handling check as he hands Ethan over. Ooh, it wanted to be a 2 for a second. I saw that.
Yeah.
And as he does, you'll feel the fox just kind of letting out like a bit of a purr, and then as you kind of like start to give him a bit of like a cuddle, you'll feel him kind of like nestle his head against your neck and begin to give you a couple of licks upon the cheek as well.
Could I tell that he was kind of like finicky, like he either hates you or loves you kind of thing? Like he would have bit me if I had gone the
From
wrong
like
way?
while you're like holding him, you would have felt that he just seems to be very protective.
Gotcha. Very lovely fox.
Just by looking at the fox, does it appear to be an intelligent animal?
I mean, I
Like-
would say at least decently trained.
Oh wait, so it's not like a sentient being.
No, this
Okay.
is a very real red fox.
Yeah, sorry, I got those stupid what they call World of Warcraft into my head. Those wild prawns or whatever they're called. That's all I could think about. Sorry, so I had to ask.
Well, Ethan, and then the fox will kind of like just move his head back, and then look at you, Krev, and then like kind of start to wiggle out of your grasp, and then just jump a little lightly off your lap, landing in Ort's lap, and beginning to like curl up, and it lays its head down, tucking its tail underneath its neck. So, you said that each of you had business with Samira.
Yes, yes, I suppose so.
Well, the corn silk rat's asking for help. I assume it can't be good.
Well,
Fortunately, it's not good.
What is this guild called again?
The wheat
We-
civet.
Weed civet. Is
Yeah.
dual membership a thing? I ask him.
No, not normally. No, not unless you're really good.
At what?
Trey smiles and then looks away.
Really good at what?
I mean, being heroic, I guess. Once you kind of start to build up a name for yourself, each of these guilds will begin to want to sway you one way or another.
I see. Well, we are here on heroic matters, so
Yes, perhaps it could be a chance for the Wheat Civet Guild to prove themselves as one of the better guilds out there in the world. But who knows? I suppose that would be up to Samira in the end.
Yeah.
Just to catch up, you said that the relationship between, we were told by the guard that the relationship with Mokhar was bad from Mito, right?
From Moga and from Race, they were saying that the areas there are hostile.
Okay.
I'm assuming the Wheat Civet Guild would be inclined for that kind of prestige, though.
He'll
To
just
be
shake his
more-
head. Probably not.
Why is that?
Well, if you put it the way that you just did, I'm sure Samira might find that. Now you would say, what's the word? She'd be pretty pissed off. Yeah, that. I wouldn't say trying to raise us to prestige.
Well,
I would just
Again.
choose your words carefully.
we are only looking for help. I was trying to persuade for
I understand.
your benefit.
And trust me, there's money to be made. Orth is there. Yeah, and then I'll have to probably heal you again, or perhaps save your soul, as we did when in the Nyansina Mountains. Alright, listen. One time, and you're never gonna let it go? Nope.
Well, either way, Lahles could use allies, and from my understanding, Bragdar believes in Mito. He believes in the Wheat Civic Guild.
Good luck. But before we even decide if you speaking to her is gonna be worth the while, any of you have a good tale, good story, perhaps something that you've done in your past that may be of entertaining thought?
Should we tell them about the bugbear?
I think he would appreciate that, Rakid. I think only you, with with an ale in a pint in your hand, could tell that.
Oh boy.
And the ogres, of course.
Well, here you go, boys. Thanks, Silly. Yes, thank you, Miss Dilly.
Or what about the blue spiders?
I suppose that is less funny.
Oh, yes, of course, that's funny.
I'd want to hear any story. A funny one is a good one, but a dangerous tale is even better.
Well, this one's both.
Well, so there I was, within slapping distance of an ogre and several bugbears, all by myself. And then, well, one thing led to another. Ogres were dead. Most of the bugbears were dead. We had one bugbear. I think we were interrogating it or something. I don't recall now.
He didn't know any information, so
for a reason I can no
Right.
longer recall.
It was the alcohol.
We branded the surviving bugbear, so to speak.
Tattooed
Yes.
on his
Just
forehead.
as like a little extra flavor, give me a performance check at advantage.
Okay.
All right, go on. That 14 looks cocked. I don't know how that's possible.
I was gonna say it looks
do
like
you-
a 4 to me.
End up with a cocked digital D20. Like,
It goes
It's
along with the
real
story.
rolls happening here.
But yeah, we well, actually I missed a step. He was restrained and then I beat him unconscious and then tattooed a phallus upon his forehead.
Of course, this is all before we released him back into his natural habitat with said phallus, shall we
And-
say, laying upon his face.
You'll
and
see.
he had to go back to town
you'll
and
s-
explain that to his village, and he didn't even know it was on his forehead.
Oh no. Why does my forehead hurt?
You'll see Orth give Nalra a bit of a look, and he'll just kind of like shake his head and then like explain by just giving a gesture, and Orth will turn and be like, "You tattooed a penis on his face? That's
Yeah.
hilarious."
And he has to explain that to his people back in his village now.
Assuming we didn't kill them all. I don't know.
Yes, I assume there's
So-
at least the women and children.
He will be wearing hats or headbands for a long time.
We may have a new nemesis now. I don't know.
Man, this is all kind of fucked up now that I say it out loud.
Oh, it's just a bugbear.
Oof.
That's quite funny. It seems that you guys have a bit of a humorous side to you. You got names or a name that you call your group?
Well, I'm Krev.
Trace.
This year's record.
I like rabbit.
Is that the
He-
name
he-
of the group, or are you just telling me something about yourself?
I think he just likes rabbits. That's not his name. His name's Trace.
Put that on a banner. Yeah.
And then, of course, Kadir here and Onyx.
Do we have a group name?
I don't
Yes.
think we do, actually. With the dick drawers, I mean,
No,
Aspiring tattooists.
no.
The Flaming Phalluses.
oh
No.
god.
Oof.
Well, it seems that that's going to need some work.
We'll just say name in progress.
We'll workshop it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All you need to know is if we're with the Corn Silk Rats Guild.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't even believe some people like you all would end up with them.
Oh, well. We're in Lahles and, well, they needed our help. They were desperate.
We saved a rich kid's dog.
Yes. From these,
Wow,
teleporting
the mighty
spiders.
corn silk rat doing work.
Oh, well, I mean, we rescued him from these teleporting spiders that had eaten orcs and people.
That's right. That's why we were out there. And then the tattoo stuff. All right. Now I
Yes. Well, rather we assume they're teleporting. I don't know if we actually understood what was happening, but
Yeah, and one time we slayed a bunch of trolls by ourselves. I can tell fishing stories too.
can I insight that?
I mean, he straight up said a fishing story though.
Oh, fishing. Oh, sorry.
Straight up, straight up means it's a lie.
Okay, I've never heard it called that before.
You would like to trade fishing stories? We can tell you one about how the city of Lahles was completely overcome by horrid snake people. Their bodies misshapen in all variety of manners. Their putrid scales peeling off their skin,
as they tortured the victims of the helpless town, peeling their skin off and removing their bones while they still yet lived. Yes.
Oh yeah, except that one's real.
Yes.
Did we ever establish if that
Give me
was
a
our
persuasion
fault?
check at advantage. Kadir.
I'll do.
Ooh, nice.
Nat 20.
You'll see him kind of both grow from like a slight grin more to a like shocked and horrid facial appearance. You can't be serious.
Oh, they came from the lake and the empty tide sea.
I suppose you could say there are some very ancient things that sit under this land.
Yes.
As he takes a sip of his ale, you'll see Orth give like a big gulp and hearing it as well. Well, if that's true, then I don't even know what to say. I had heard all those kind of creatures to be dead.
They had been gone for centuries, yes. Which is why we need to speak to Samira.
Buried, but not dead.
Yeah, so are the rumors true? Can they turn into people? Like humans?
Some of them are part human, part snake.
Some of them will even appear human.
Yes.
You would not be able to tell them except for perhaps their eyes, maybe some scales on the skin. Extremely easy to hide.
Yes. Some of them are more full snake, but large. Larger than people.
And
Very dangerous.
while in the midst of this conversation, you'll begin to hear a bit of a cheer and kind of like a thumping along the tables in the tavern. And as each of you look over, you will see a very beautiful female human, as quite attractive in her appearance, tall and lean, but with a slight muscular tone about her. You can see her dark robes being sleeveless and having a fine definition upon her arms. Wearing layered black clothing with a black cloak and the hood down resting upon her shoulders. You can see her deep black hair and falling just past her shoulders. Her blue eyes peer through the room as she gives a slight smile and a nod, acknowledging each of the guild members and patrons in the tavern. Oh, there she is. That's Samira.
Is she coming up here?
Sure, she'll go to the main hall first, see if any business is to attend. And as she begins making her way through, walking with a nice grace about herself, again, just giving nods and smiles to each of the patrons as she walks by. When she begins to approach the table that you all are at with Orth and Nalra, they'll stand and give like a little salute and a bow forward. Orth, Nalra, pleasure to see you. Welcome to the city. And then she'll make her way through the reinforced wooden doors that were just off to each of your sides from the table. And as she opens them, she'll leave them partially open and say, Orth, Nalra, just a minute while I attend to my affairs here, and then I will open the hall for anyone that needs it. As you wish. And as he kind of like takes his seat, Nalra following suit, he'll turn to each of you and say, well, seems that you guys are in luck. When
Yes.
she's done with this, whatever it is, it seems that she's going to open the floor. I would just be first in
Very
line.
well.
All right. Thank you.
So we will be. Orth,
I'll-
Nara, it was a pleasure to meet you, to make your acquaintances.
I do have one more question for you, all before you go.
Yes.
With all due respect, what's her deal? She hasn't said a word. And he gestures to Onyx.
No deal. Why do I have to speak to justify my presence here? I'd rather observe.
So more of the learned type, I see.
Of course.
Have you heard of Zahena?
Yes.
Oh, you'd be wise to follow in the footsteps of the goddess of knowledge.
Perhaps.
Here, I have something for you.
Oh,
And as Nalra reaches into his robes, reaching down into like a pocket, he'll pull out a little stone like pebble and place it in your hand and say, this will guide you and protect you as long as you follow with Zahena's needs.
guide me and protect me, you say? I thought there was no magic here.
No magic,
Don't
faith.
guide me. Ah, faith.
And as you look down upon it, as Narla says this, you'll see a little inscription in the rune of Zahena upon the pebble.
I will keep it safe. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Well, we won't keep you too long. I would suggest taking suit and getting in line. No one has heard there will be an open floor yet, so as soon as they see you line up, I'm sure others will follow suit quite quickly.
Yes. Well, it was a pleasure.
I'll go line up.
Trace follows along as he finishes the rabbit. So,
You can't go in yet. Just wait here by the door.
Of course.
She'll holler when she's ready.
Should we finish our drinks before then, or is it cool if we just bring them in with us?
You should probably finish first.
You right, and just downs it.
Glot, 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 glot.
I would ask for a con save, but I feel like you're becoming quite experienced in this at this point. And I don't think 2 drinks would require such from you.
Sure.
one for the road?
Belches in alcoholism.
Roughly about 15 minutes after each of you like lined up, getting ready, taking first in the line, ready to go into the hall. Moments after you line up, you would have seen patrons beginning to take their position in line, but each of you have gotten the, I guess how you would say, like the spring on it, the heads up. So, after the 15 minutes passes, you'll hear from inside, Orth, open the doors. You'll hear a chair scoot back, and as Orth stands up, making his way over, you see just how tall he is, standing nearly anywhere from a quick judgment between like 6'6" and 6'8". A quite tall individual. Place his hand on the door and open it. Reach over, grab the other side of the other part of the wooden door. And all right, guys, you're up first.
Thank you.
Get the elite away.
Are we like do they close the doors behind us, or are there like people like that can listen in on our conversation?
Well, what I was going to say is, as each of you begin making your way in, is where we'll take our quick break, and that'll give me time to tally up your guys' sales. So in this way, when you do, I'll actually have a number for you and all that good stuff as well, and perhaps a little bit of quick planning as well. But
All right.
with that, we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes at most, and we'll see you all shortly.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. And we're back. So, as each of you begin to make your way into the hall, you'll hear the doors shut behind you, and the sounds of the tavern begin to kind of disappear, and just the emptiness of this hall kind of echoes out. Before you, you'll see a off beige color kind of rug that goes from the door towards where you'll see Samira sitting behind in a quite large behind a desk in a quite large of a chair, and that towers over her. Before her sits a couple of steps that go up to the landing that she's on, and as she looks up, she'll give a bit of a smile, stand, and say, "Welcome. Oh, what can I do for some new travelers here in Mido?"
Well, I wouldn't say too new. I suppose somewhat of a homecoming. I don't believe we've met before. Samira, my name is Kadir.
I can see that you have some traits from around here, but it seems that you know my name already. It's a pleasure to meet you, Kadir. What about your friends?
Trace.
I am Krev.
Wrecked wow.
And this quiet lady, she is Onyx.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet each of you. What can I do you for?
Well, I suppose there is no easy way to say this, but I suppose you've already picked up on where we're from. Bragdar, of course, sends his very deepest regards.
She'll sit back down and just say, "You can leave."
Should
To
we?
us?
Yes, you can go.
Ah, yes, we can. But are you sure that is what you truly want? Do you have something against the poor old fellow?
I guess you could say such a thing.
What is it you have against the old man?
Don't find that
Ye-
to be any business of yours.
Well,
Shall I
I,
call somebody in?
we are here in his stead, and we are in great need of your help. The lives of hundreds, if not thousands, rely on you and your relation to this conversation. I do not believe we can just take no for an answer, my lady.
Persistent. But the answer remains the same. You can go.
You not heard about the Yuan Ti resurfacing? Invading Lahles? We are at
If
war.
it has anything to do with that man, I don't give a shit.
You actually put your hatred to a man before the safety of your city?
My city is fine.
But for how long?
The snake people use magic.
Well,
Yes. And
if
all
you
they want is murder.
if you think the people of Moga or Resha are dangerous, then you should try the 1T army. They are quite loathsome.
Yes.
We have seen how they fight. We have seen them purge the skin from those yet living, the remorseless murder that they heave upon innocent citizens. I wonder which city they would come for next. Which which city borders a sea that they can so easily invade from? But who knows? Perhaps they will attack Gracia first. Perhaps you will be lucky. Maybe they could remove an enemy.
Is that all? Are you done now?
Hmm. I am just surprised. You are not who I thought you were. Well,
Trace walks around and then says, like in slowly in comments, "How is it you say it in your tongue?" And he looks directly into her eyes and says, "Coward," and walks out.
And as Trace makes his way out, she'll give like a bit of a chuckle. Place her
Well,
hands upon her desk. And then gives a smile to the rest of you.
Even if not for Bragdar, what about the city of Lahles itself? Would you see a city doomed just for your loathing of one man?
Lahles
actually,
has been in Grin's family for a long time. They've overseen the city and damned others for quite a while.
what
It
if?
seems that you don't know the man you serve. Now,
Then tell us.
Maybe we don't. What can you tell us of him?
I'm far too busy.
Maybe we are with the wrong guild.
Or perhaps, maybe there is an alternative. What if we were to have Bragdar removed? What if what if your aid to the city? Uh, what if your aid to the city was dependent on him stepping down and rescinding leadership to someone new? I have little doubt. We are here to secure some mode of diplomacy. Surely there is some kind of steps that we can make.
Give me a persuasion check.
Can someone give me advantage, please?
I'll give you advantage because Krev has been making a good argument as well. And not to
I don't
mention
have
the
it, but-
nice little jab from Trace.
Voice.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna hope it's nice. Oh God.
Wait, why did that? I think that was the
Sorry,
19.
Is he
right?
didn't see it yet, he just hit it again.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
That is exactly. Yeah.
Well, quite persistent you are.
What can I say? I'm from Mido.
Or do you have any favors you need here in Mido? We are quite capable. Although we are restricted here in your village, your town, with these badges.
But for God's sake, if you send us into the Nicinma Mountains,
Well, if you're as smart as each of you are as persistent in this conversation, I'm sure you have a way to grab my attention. But for now, this conversation is over. Please send in the next Shoemaker departure.
should we expect to hear from you, or will we be seeing you again, milady?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. Only time will tell.
Very well. See you tomorrow. And step away?
I have no idea. Either I missed something or we haven't been given it yet. I have no idea what she wants.
She hasn't given any indication except for that she hates Bragdar.
Yeah.
What I offered is potentially getting. I mean, Bragdar's old. I'm sure he would have no problem stepping down for Renus or
We didn't mention Renus. Maybe that's
we don't need to but we could discuss getting Bragdar to say that she'll. I mean, if we can get her to agree, like say ask Bragdar to resign for Renus, or more likely Riffin, and then Riffin gets power, and we get our help. That's it. That's
how do we communicate?
I'll ask you this
the-
real quick, since you guys are leaving, making your way back into the tavern area, being in the guild hall. Um, is this a conversation that you all would like to have here, or perhaps at another area?
I assumed this was out of character, so
Oh,
we would have that in a safer area because I wasn't using my accent.
yeah.
Uh,
I would just wanted to make sure before we start to go too much into like theorizing out of character.
Sure. No, that's fair. Any conversation like this would be held, city, street, alley, a hostel, that kind of thing.
Perfect. Just making sure. This is the
Uh,
first time that it's kind of some back and forth with like what the fuck is going on. So
Yeah.
I mean, clearly they have background, but the thing is, that was impossible to get. We weren't going to get. Any conversation about the corn silk rat was going to lead to Bragdar, and any conversation involving Bragdar was going to be pure anathema to negotiate.
Right. I didn't think we were going to get this check there until that very end. Like,
Well, I had to. Yeah, that was.
I thought we were literally getting kicked out and that was it. But I mean, we still got kicked out, but at least we got to.
I mean, the door's still open, so I feel
Yeah.
good with that at least.
Yeah.
After Trace said coward, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
I'm
after making your way out and sending in the next visitor for Samira, you will see Trace just standing, leaning against a wall, probably appearing to be a little pissed off, especially with the last words that he had said to her upon leaving.
I think Trace is more disappointed than anything else.
True.
I feel like Trace thinks that is a dishonorable way of like putting a man above your city, or whatever.
Yes, it's not very leader-like.
No.
To be fair, this is at its heart a city of traders. One does not accept a first negotiation. Persistence is necessary. We must
Putting
say,
emotions in front of logic is not a good business practice for a leader. Probably should have said that.
yes, but to be fair, saying that would not have changed her mind.
True.
The answer was no before we looked in. It is our job to find a way around this.
Yes.
And
Maybe we can ask Jeeves if he knows of their past.
It is unlikely. What I'll buy two more ales for Orth and Nara, and I'll drop it off by their. I'm assuming you said it was 2 silver earlier, so I'll subtract
Yep.
that, and I'll say I'll walk by and I'll say thank you for sharing a drink with us. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Well, from the sound of her voice, that didn't go too well.
It went as well as it could, my friend.
She apparently has a past with Bragdar. We weren't even aware. I don't know why Bragdar didn't tell us.
Well, perhaps for this exact reason.
Uh,
Maybe he had hoped she had forgotten.
well, If this was his best bet for an ally, he must not have many friends.
Well, it is perhaps true. Or false, we do not know.
Maybe we should ask around other people in the guild and see why. Does he hate him so much?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'd ask Nara and Orth, dude, do you know why she hates Bragdar so much?
They'll just shake their heads. No. No idea. This is news to me.
Can I insight?
Yeah, I was gonna insight that too.
I think we all want to insight that.
Sure.
I don't think any of us believe that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right, not 20. That's okay.
Yeah. This seems to be quite shocking news to him. Like, you'll see his eyes widen and upon telling him the news, and it's totally honest. That's how each of you feel.
Trace steps out of the corner and says, "Who would you say know her best?"
Probably Bragdar, I'm assuming.
Oh,
In Mido.
no one living that you could talk to.
What do you mean?
Her husband died a few years back. I think that was probably the person who knew her best.
What happened to him?
And him and her and a couple of others had gone venturing forth years and years ago. Her husband didn't make it back. And then this is when the guild became hers.
Was the guild originally her husband's?
Yeah. She was second in charge, so it made sense for her to take over, but still, an
What killed
unfortunate
him?
way.
What was his name?
Her husband?
Yes.
Remor.
Well, dire business. That's very unfortunate. Well, at any rate, you have been kind to us, kinder than most would have been to outsiders from Lahles such as ourselves, and for that, well, you at least deserve a drink. And
Thank you.
I wish you all a good day.
Look, if I can give you any help, I would suggest checking out the taverns. Probably won't find much here, but
Well, where does he live?
who?
The boss.
Samira?
Samira?
Yes.
She lives here.
Oh.
Just like Bragdar lives in the.
Hey, I've heard of it. Again, Trace wonders for a moment. She's hiding something. Something big.
She told us there's something we could offer her, I think, but wouldn't tell us what.
Yes. I
The head of
believe.
the head of Bragdar?
No, I would. Hopefully, it would be enough. Well, we should discuss strategies elsewhere.
Yes.
Not the place.
Does she do this with others asking for help? Does she test them?
I guess that differs from time to time, but look, if you're looking for a place to stay, there's a couple of shitholes in town, but there's also a nice one.
A nice shithole?
No, and well, I guess it's a good way to put it. It's nothing like you'll find here, but doesn't cost you an arm and a leg either. Anyways, it's down in the Lake Ward. It's just south of here. You follow the road, You'll run into the Sleeping Lamp Tavern.
Very nice.
Those gnomes are a little odd, but they keep it quite clean.
Well, yeah. In that case, I mean, we also have. Well, never mind. We're not gonna exactly be sleeping outside the city, so never mind. Maybe we should find a tavern.
That and maybe check in on Jeeves.
We could spend the rest of the day trying to sell stuff out of our carriage.
Yes.
True.
I have a question though. Kyle, do you think would the redwood that can be found here, do you feel would that be a sufficient wood to build a staff out of?
I would answer that by saying this. All wood would be like a sufficient wood. But with the book that you read, you would know like the better the material, like the rarer the quality, things of that nature, the better infused the weapon can be with arcane magic.
Okay. In that case, I would like to go shopping to see if I can buy a higher quality wood.
Okay. With Mito having a dock area in quite a few markets, you would be able to find some of the redwood, red oak, some regular oak. You would also be able to find some living tree and some undead as well,
Undead.
like a dead tree, I guess would be a better way to say it.
I was gonna say I've never heard of undead wood, but it's a cool idea.
But I step up to him. I say, by the way, I totally forgot this. I do have some spare cold pine, which is very good quality.
But do you have enough to make a staff from, my friend?
Well, I need 2 planks for the bow, and I bought 4.
How many planks would I need to make my staff from?
I believe just one, but let me double check the staff weight. You would need 2.
Could I perhaps pay you for both of them?
Well, let me just double check. I'm pretty sure we agreed there were 2 planks I needed, right?
Yeah,
For my
you
bow.
also had bought 15 pounds and had them made into planks.
Yeah.
You had bought
So it's-
an extreme amount of excess due to or if you had fucked it up.
Yeah, but then I decided to make the mug-up bow afterwards. So yes, I can spare 2 planks.
Yes, in total, you would have only consumed 4 pounds of the 15. So you have
Yeah.
11 pounds left over.
Yeah, so I can easily spare.
Yeah.
For your quad staff.
Each plank is just 2 pounds.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how much would you like for the? Would you like me to pay for those?
Oh, don't worry about it.
You are too kind. Well,
We are a team.
I guess your bow and my staff will be brothers then.
Exactly.
In that case, no need. I will. I do have some things in my inventory that I've been collecting that I think I might be able to use.
And Krev, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, with the amount of time and what we had discussed, I think session 1 or 2, if you've continued this process thus far, and it being, let me double check the date. Each of you arriving into the city on the 12th and beginning on the 27th. I believe that is 16 days. So you have 32 pounds of stone and rocks on you. Just so you
This
know,
is just,
I didn't forget.
this is just collecting for like crafting armor, right?
Yep, you had
Okay.
wanted to make some sort of like rock armor, like
Yeah.
maybe down
Yeah.
the line, and had pointed that out. So,
Yes.
just as a keeping track of time kind of thing, it would be like the 32 pounds.
32 pounds of, and it was that just like strictly rock, you said,
Yep,
or
like rocks, like just random shit that you're just picking up. It's no particular
okay.
specialties.
And I might have to do this with you offline, but um, would I use the weight and rock based on like the equivalent of weight of the armor and the PHB to make that
With
armor,
your
or
stonemason experience, I'll say that you'll know that it'll be relatively close. But with no one really have done like completing such a thing before, um, you're just like up in the air about it.
okay? I gotta go check that out again, see what the weight is.
Yeah, like like kind of like in theory, like this could be done, but I haven't seen it done, so
Right.
who knows?
Okay, I need like another 8 pounds if I want to try for half plate. So, or the equivalent of half plate.
Did you organize that list, Kadir? Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Yeah, happy to. So yeah, I guess we'll spend the rest of the day trying to.
You don't want the ceramic stuff? Fine.
Wait, what ceramic stuff?
The ceramic Dyson box with the miniatures.
I put it on the sell list, but
I know. You don't want it? That hurts.
sorry. I don't think we can do anything with it.
Well, um, with that, I'll tally this up for you guys. I've like begun to, but I didn't want to like make any assumptions. But now that I have it, I will get you a good number, and I'll post it in Discord. But where are each of you
Should
going to be heading?
should since we're going to be hawking this off ourselves from our cart, should we make a persuasion check?
Oh yes, good point. If you, I mean, either if like you're selling it to shops or doing like the act of selling it out yourself, if you'd like to make a persuasion check, please do. And anyone with a proficiency can give advantage.
All right.
What kind of check? Sorry.
I give advantage.
Thank you.
Alright.
You're welcome.
Thank you, other honey.
Oh, you needed it.
I couldn't tell. Was that a 2 or a 12? Oh, God.
Well,
It didn't really matter.
so
Curses.
what I will do is I'll write this down and then apply that. So, just
If we
for
could-
like a flavor aspect, like most of your transactions go pretty well. Some of them kind of haggle you back and forth, but you're able to sell all of the items you need to. It does take you the rest of the day to do so, though. But it seems that this, while maybe not the best place to gain the most of an abundance of coin, definitely a decent place to sell things with the amount of ports and in and out people seem to be doing from the city. Well, Masters and Lady Onyx, it does seem to be getting a bit late. Perhaps we get a room for the night. It'd be nice to sleep in a bed.
Yes, we were told of an inn, the Sleeping Lamp Tavern.
Yeah, the tavern.
Is it nice there?
It's one of the. Well, they said it's less slummy than some of the other places while not breaking the bank. But they said it's not bad. Ran by gnomes.
I hate gnomes.
Jeez, I would have never expected that from you.
Oh, Jeeves.
A lot of them try to rhyme all the time. It's pretty fucking annoying.
This is so silly. Not expected. I did not
Yes.
think you were so short with people of that stature.
Ha ha ha.
Like Krev.
Fuck you.
Oh, Krev, Master Krev, there is a good thing about it.
Yes, yes.
At least you're not a gnome.
Yeah, I'm not quite that short. Close, but not quite.
Well, should we be on our way?
Yes, of course.
Do you know where this place is, Master Kadir? You seem quite well versed here.
What can I say? It's been a while, but yes, it's just down this road.
And as you continue on, knowing your way about the city of Mido, you will eventually lay the familiar eyes, or your eyes on the familiar sight of the Sleeping Lamp Tavern. You'll see that it is, well, run by gnomes, still built of average height for the patrons to visit the tavern. And give me a history check. Let's see, like, if you've visited this tavern in the past, because some things will mainly stick out. But being a solid wooden structure, you would definitely remember, since it was stated, the prices here are low compared to most taverns.
Just like their height.
Got him.
Well, I would like to start the Small Lives Matter movement.
You want to give me a history check, Kadir?
Okay. Do.
Yeah, you've been here once or twice, and you just mainly remember that this is run by the only family of gnomes that are in the city of Mido.
I would just like to point out that I have successfully rolled 8, 9, 10 for my last 3 rolls.
Congratulations.
I can't wait for my 11.
Give me a strength check. No, just see if it's an 11. But as you make your way in, you do not. Nope, not an 11. You do not see any gnomes about at first. You will see a few of the patrons sitting, drinking, enjoying themselves. But one thing I've noticed. Ooh, that's loud as fuck. You will notice that there's quite a bit of what appear to be tiny shoots that are running from table to table. And at this point, can each of you give me a perception check?
All right, guys, we're in Chuck E. Cheese for gnomes.
You have no idea.
Oh my god. Well,
You will shortly.
Shortly.
An artificer has made a giant mechanical mouse.
Krev, that's really low-hanging fruit.
So, I think I need one from Onyx and one from Rekid.
Reggit does spot the beer, right?
Nope.
That's actually what he's distracted by.
Oh.
So as Rekid is drooling on the kegs of ale that are lined upon the wall and seeing the abundance of alcohol in this establishment, the rest of you will see three gnomes that you notice, each wearing wide-brimmed hats with feathers upon them. And as each of them kind of poke their heads out at the tables, you'll see them kind of retreat back into their like little chute, and then as you're following the path, you'll see the chute kind of goes to like the bar, and then you'll see him kind of out and then begin to like pour a drink in a tankard, and then kind of like jump back into the chute and then reappear back at the table almost instantly. Well, here you go. More for the show. Woohoo! And jump back into the chute.
Well, they are either pimps or wizards. Would anyone like to take a guess?
How about both?
Well,
Pimp wizard.
all right. I suppose we should get a room in this fun house,
School
shall
of
we?
the Pimpan? No? Okay.
Your voice faded out. Discord got it.
I was just saying School of the Pimpan.
Ah, yes. I think that's actually a rogue subclass.
Oh, Krev minus a level.
Ah,
That's a good joke, Kadir.
oh Jesus, not one perception. So yeah, well, I'll just step up and get a room.
So you make your way to the bar area where you see Kadir almost floating across the floor as he's making his way towards the tankard spotted and the cask of ale that line the walls. As you make your way up and you place your hands upon the bar, you'll see like the point of a hat kind of pop up. Well, hello there. What can I do for you?
Oh yes, sprightly, aren't you?
Yep. Fogley's the name. Serving beer's the game. What can I get?
A room, please. For my compatriots and myself. We would like to stay in your funhouse for the night.
How many of there will you be? 1, 2, maybe 3?
6? I suppose we will need a couple of rooms.
Atter! And
Oh god, I hope the room's not tiny.
you turn, seeing where this little gnome is shouting towards, you'll see this female gnome kind of out of a chute onto like a table, standing there, hands upon her hips. And what is it, Fogley? What do you need? Do we have 6 rooms available for guests? Yeah, I think so. Check the sheet. Oh yeah, forgot. 1, 2. Yes, we have 6 rooms available. It's gonna cost you a bit of coin.
Can we not share rooms?
Well, of course, if you wish. I mean, that's kind of weird, though.
How many beds are in a room?
1? They're big
Yeah, but-
beds, though. Well, they're all big to me.
I would not need a room, my bed. I'm Elvin.
How comfortable are your dressers?
Let me tell you, they're top of the line. Best you'll find in all of Mito. I sleep in them myself.
All right, I'll take one of those. I'll share a
Oh.
room with someone else.
Who wants to sleep face to feet with me?
Face to feet. I did not. I thought you were one for cuddling. I suppose I'll be sharing a room with.
Is that your way of saying you want to 69?
Noise.
I leave.
I guess it'd be more like 96.
All right. You're fired, Matt.
Well, how many? It sounds like maybe 2 or 3?
3 would be fine.
3? Okay, that's gonna be 6 silver. I don't know if you can afford it, but
I bet we
No,
could haggle
we'll
them down.
manage.
I put down 6 silver.
Oh.
wow,
And then
thanks.
I put down another silver, and I point out Jeeves, who I assume is inside with us, and I'll say,
You'll
I
see him
know
just
you-
looking quite crossed.
and I'll lean in real close to the gnome. Fogly, I cannot say this strongly enough. That man over there, he absolutely loves gnomes. He loves the way they talk. He loves rhymes. He loves everything about your silly culture. He finds it titillating. Please.
Can you give me a deception check?
Give him your warmest welcome.
Oh no.
Oh no. Away! No! Well, actually, that's okay ish.
Wow, really? Most people find this annoying. I'll make sure that he has a good time.
Yes. And I mean, if
And
he
like,
ever.
he likes it
if
when
he
we rhyme, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Every-
This is gonna be a good time.
And I mean.
To rhyme.
There's. And I'll put up a gold piece in my hand. I swear, if he so much as leaves to go to the bathroom, if he in the middle of the night, or if when you deliver breakfast to him, give him your very, very best. And I put the gold down on the counter.
Holy shit! Enter! I don't know why this is so funny.
It's kind of fucked up as well, though.
Enter! Gidu! Efrix! Hughie! Mally! Emrig! Hugh! Avrin! CD! And you'll just see all of these gnomes just. Let's give this guy the royal treatment. He has a lot of coin. And they'll all begin cheering and kind of like tap dancing along on the tables as they're all just gallivanting about. And then you'll see them back into the chutes and then appear near the bar. And all of them will begin surrounding Jeeves. And you'll see Jeeves glaring at you, Kadir. I am so mad right now. And as each of these gnomes begin like tugging upon like Jeeves's clothing, like, hey, down here! Yeah, down here, mister, down here! What you gonna do? Like, let's sing a song, let's play a tune! And you'll just see him as a dead look comes across his face. And then Fogley will say, well, here's the keys, and we'll make sure to give your friend a good time tonight.
Oh my.
I could ask for no more. My job here is done. And I leave for my room.
I will remember this, Kadir.
I so very hope you do. gonna wake up in the middle of the night, Jeeves with a knife to my throat. You remember me?
Stab, stab.
This old
I like-
man.
Well,
fucking-
if he's off to bed, what about the rest of you? Perhaps a drink? We've got some great ale.
Yep. Yep.
Yes, I'll take a drink. You speak Elvish? I say in Elvish?
Nah, a little.
Okay. Okay, what was the leader called again? I forgot again. Some Karina?
Samira? Are you talking about the leader of the Wheat Civet?
Yeah. Samira. I ask him in Elvish. Do you know anything about Samira? And I throw a few coins over the desk.
He'll like grab the coins and begin just kind of looking at him in like an astonishment. Wow! Responding in a very broken Elvish. Kinda. Never talked to her personally.
Do you know any of her friends?
I know of work, but let me get you ale.
Okay. But anyways, I slip him another 2 silver coins, and I'll say, if you hear anything, any small rumors, anything about her at all, you come to me, okay?
I know that she needs work done.
She does want to work with us, due to our connection with a certain man.
So he pours a couple of tankards. He'll set them down in front of each of you, and with the amount of coin traces thrown at him, he'll just say, well, you have plenty more rounds to go. I hope you can stomach it. Does
Oh.
he speak common?
A little, yes. I just wanted to make sure that the people around us didn't understand. But don't worry, my friend here, I tap regular on the shoulder. He can drink a lot. So everything I can't drink, give it to him.
You got it.
Just one more for me, and I'm done.
What about you, pretty lady? And well, you're not a gnome. What would you
Nah.
like, sir?
I'll take an ale. Just one ale.
Just one.
Coming right up. Well, I mean, other than her needing some work done, clearing out some mines, I don't know much about her. I just heard that some of the people there have just been killed. Rumor has it, turned to stone.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and
where-
it sucks that the mine's been closed for the... Shit, what's it been? Just 10 days now? Feels like
And-
months. That mine brings in a lot of coin here.
and exactly where is this mine?
Just to the east.
Thank you.
Yeah, just... beware of the beast. If it's true, it turns you to stone. Well, some of the dwarves might come mine you in a few years.
Would it appear to be a basilisk you're talking about?
I don't know what that is. But
Oh,
if that basilisk thing you said turns things to stone, then I guess it could be.
I'm just assuming since I'm proficient in nature, I know what a basilisk is. I hope I do. Huh. But anyways, thank you very much. That might be something we have to look into. How much do I know about basilisks?
Give me a nature check.
Say to sell it. 21.
So, you would know mainly basilisk being more, well, I would say kind of widespread, but being more in like mountain ranges seems to be their more favorable habitat. You would also know that they have the capability of turning things to stone, but more importantly, traveling in pairs.
But would I also know that the way they turn people to stone is by looking into people's eyes?
I would say that you've heard that it has like magical capabilities. You've heard that it's the eyes. You've also heard that it's its bite, and if it touches you or you touches it. You've heard various different things of that manner.
Have you ever heard about these creatures, Rickett?
I'm sorry, y'all. I did not hear that last part.
He's asking you if you've heard of them. If you'd like to give me a nature check, you can.
Sure. Well,
You've heard of them, but I would say that with that roll, you would think that most of the stories are just made up. It's just a big fucking lizard.
yeah, it's no thing. It probably just looks scary. It's probably a cuddly dog. It's fine.
I just figured it might be a good option for us to go up there, because apparently it seems connected to everything. Maybe that might get us in good standing with the guild.
I mean, it'll be fun if nothing else.
Maybe if we bring back some of their heads, maybe she'll think better of us.
Exactly. I think that this might be our way in. I mean, if it's I mean, apparently they make a lot of coin from this mine, and if it's been closed for 10 days, then they're losing silver by the hour, right?
I'm down.
Same.
What do you think, Kadir? If he's around.
I'm not.
Oh.
He's gone to his room.
Who said
Just
that?
remember we can't use magic around town, or at least not around others.
No, but this
I
would
don't
be
know
out.
how far these pendants, if they only work in town or if they go beyond
But
that.
the guard told us that as soon as we are outside town, we can just take them off. And I assume the mine is outside the town.
Are we not allowed to be naked here?
Oh, you can be naked.
Didn't the guards say they would know if we took them off?
Go ahead. I'm going to go find Kadir.
So, noticing that he would have gone upstairs to find his room, can you give me an investigation check as you're looking for his room?
19.
Right, let me just roll this. Okay. As you knock on the door, Kadir, you hear a knock on the door.
Yes.
Kadir, it's me, Trace.
I open the door. Yes, Trace.
We've been talking down at the bar, and we found out there's a mine just north of here, east of here, but now. And they have been having some basilisk problems lately. I think this might be connected to, the guild in some way.
It seems likely that something in the guild would have been posted for this. Perhaps if we return, they will have a message board, just like there was in Lahles.
Well, I was actually thinking about just going there, clearing out the
Uh,
problem for them, and then coming
right.
back.
Right now?
Oh, tomorrow.
Ah, yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, it seems it seems we do not have too much to do here. Perhaps my thinking is the same as yours. Perhaps we could improve our standing here before we take another shot.
Yes. What is it they say in common? Gold speaks, I think. But
Well,
like, I mean, if the mine is the source of income for the city, then not having it active must be hurting them greatly.
but if we are going to do something, we should not do it for free. Perhaps we should talk. Perhaps we should talk to Samira first. See if we can negotiate our actions for a better better standing with her directly before doing it for free.
Um, did I know that Krev was reading all kinds of books about priests and so on?
I'm assuming we would have seen him.
I would
with
have
that.
said, yeah, I would think that you would have at least seen him reading the books and maybe have caught like the title. Not knowing exactly what's in there, I would say you'd probably have at least a general idea. Especially with
Anyways,
him being a druid.
Katia, I don't know if you know anything about basilisks. I have a basic understanding of them.
If
But
they're a
seems-
beast, I would probably know, yes.
But I'm going to go ask Krev, yeah.
I don't know if they're beasts or not offhand. But
What kind of check would that be? Was it a nature check?
Well, as I said, I know the basics of them, and I know they can turn into stone. But I was wondering if we can find any measures to counteract
I mean,
being
I'd
turned to stone.
go to my, monster book, and try to pull anything up on them real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, can I just open up my book and pull up
And
basilisk?
nothing in your book is on that.
All right. I assume they must not be beasts. They must be another type of creature.
Perhaps. Could I? Are there any other types of creatures I know that could turn to stone? Like, could this possibly be a Medusa?
I would say with your check, like lots of things may come to mind, but you have no other details than what Trace has given you.
Could
Believing
I
it to
have
be
a?
basilisk, then you're
Would I
just
get a nature
unsure.
check based on knowing it's not a beast and maybe knowing it's something else?
Yeah, I'll give you one.
Okay. I mean, not great either, but yep,
How are
not
you
great
not
either.
good at nature?
Because nature is an int skill for some stupid reason instead of wisdom. It different. If you go to Pathfinder, it's actually a wisdom skill.
Well,
It makes sense, it sounds like, though.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're not too sure either. Sorry, bud.
Oh, apparently I'm the one who knows most about it, so it's good.
All right. Yeah, I got nothing.
But you know the city, right, Kadia?
Somewhat well. I do not
Ma-
know. Broadly speaking, I don't know all the details anymore, but
No, I was just thinking about might there be a library or something along those lines?
I legitimately don't know the answer to that.
There, well, you would definitely know as Kadir. There is a library resource, not as vast as what you had experienced with Renus, but you would know it to be at least a mediocre size from rumors. But other than that, other than like little bookstores and things of that nature here.
The mine. Do I know roughly where this would be?
Yes, I'll ping it for you on the map, and then don't hit me, okay?
Fuck. Nice.
And I'm saying don't hit me because you were like, just don't send us here.
You
You
take
missed.
18 damage.
I think he was referring to the mountains, the Niacinma Mountains.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is your armor class higher than 14?
Yep.
The fuck you wearing?
I'm wearing chainmail right now. And just saying, how funny would it be if I turned on my webcam and I was, and I had like a shield and stuff or whatever. I know that would still be 18, but I'm just, that'd be funny.
I actually think it would be hilarious, to be honest with you.
Get on your game.
The best antivirus.
It's still chainmail.
Fine, I'm wearing plate, and I cast shield. Boom. Anyways, well, with that conversation, if you go back down and talk to Krev, he's not too familiar with them either. And then Kadir shoots an Eldritch Blast into the air, and it ripples, dissipating. And you feel that something's taken damage, Kadir.
It's going to be me in a few minutes when the.
I'm not just hurt like here, but also here in my heart.
Well, that's what I was aiming for.
Well, what time of day is it now?
With your conversation and everything with Sarima being quite early in the day, arriving into Mido quite early, I would say that it's at this point early afternoon, 1 o'clock.
Oh, not more. Huh. Do you want to join me at the library, Kadir?
Yes, I suppose that would be amenable.
Good. I assume Reckon is drunk by now, right?
Give me a
Yeah.
con save, Rekid. Let's just see how many it takes you.
Man, my rolls have been garbo.
Not that many, and with the lingering effects from your previous couple drinks, these seem to hit you quite quickly. And I guess Trace, he appears quite normal. At least from your perspective.
I got down to everyone else. Would you guys care to join Kadir and I in the library? We're going to try to research this basilisk creature.
Well, let's not pigeonhole ourselves quite yet. It could be something else.
Fair.
Look, if you're trying to figure out more about it and you're going to sit here and keep talking about it, why not just go there? You'll probably be able to speak to... Ah, shit. What's his name? No. Again, just kind of like looking up into the air, thinking. And then... Corny! That's right.
Oh, like the bar.
About how far away is this mine again? Is it? I mean, it looks like it's a significant distance.
It's about a little. I mean, from roughly estimating, I think it's a little over a half day of travel. But we can always double check with our handy dandy ruler.
Yeah, no, I think we're staying here for the night.
Yeah.
Yep, just a little over half a day.
Yeah, we're staying here then. That or we're getting a refund from Fogley.
Well, let's go do some research at the library. Maybe go back to the guild and talk.
Yes. We do still need to negotiate with Samira. See if we can perhaps get something from her.
Yes.
If this means anything to her. If it has no value to her, then what is the point? All right. Well, in that case, I guess we're gonna go to the library and probably make some investigation checks. I guess.
Well, unfortunately, the library area is restricted only for guild members. But you can go to some of the bookstores and you can give me an investigation check to see if they perhaps have something that you seek.
I will do that for sure.
All right. Let's do that then.
Huh. 8.
Don't fail me now.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
I
So,
was expecting my 11 to be incoming.
one could only dream, right? Well, with that, you are able to find not a book upon Basilisk that you're seeking, but when you are talking to some of the shop owners, they will, you've heard of what's been troubling in the mines? I don't think it to be a basilisk. You see, those gnomes spread tales far and wide, make it more interesting. And be quite honest, not the most intelligent ones that here in Mito.
You wouldn't say.
Really, gnomes are supposed to be very intelligent, though.
Yes, and would you say that all people are good because that's the way it's supposed to be?
No.
Well, nonetheless, I've heard that gnolls have taken over, devouring the flesh of the miners that were there, standing their skeletons and the remains of their bones up to fear off anyone approaching. But there's something else bigger there.
Well, I suppose.
Heard of-
The Knolls, do they have a history? Do they have a history in the Niacinma?
Scroungy creatures just look for free meals, and well, miners can't really protect themselves, well, that well.
Yes, I suppose
You-
not.
Heard of people being turned to stone there.
No. More of to dust. But tales spread far and wide. Gnolls don't contain such power. Weak creatures.
To dust.
Hmm.
Would I know of anything that does that?
It's,
Give me a insight check.
this could just be more rumor milling.
True, but man, my insight checks tonight
And
have
that's
been
how
fucking fire.
Yeah, but that's exactly how you feel. Him being quite certain of Knowles being reported from the mines, but whatever this larger creature is that he's speaking of, while it definitely seems to be mysterious, people seem to be spreading rumors about it far and wide. You've heard that it now turns people to stone. You've heard that it turns people to dust. Who knows?
We need ourselves a witness, someone who can take this seriously. The
Do
only
we know of anybody who's come back from there alive?
Shorny. Dwarf that leads the mines.
Where can we find this, Johnny?
Probably up near the mines there. I've heard there's an outpost. Forces lining up, ready to go in any day now. I suppose waiting for the guilds back up, but
Well, perhaps we will see how this goes.
So, shall we, make one more attempt to go and try to talk to, Samira before heading out there, or do we want to just go and check it out without speaking with her?
We will see Samira one more time, at least.
Wise.
All right. Well, I think it is about time we retired. This has been enough fun for today.
I'm confused.
What for, good Trace?
Well, everything. I mean, why is there rumors about this mine in different directions? What's going on in the guild?
Personally, now that we're kind of like on the city streets, I would say to him, listen, perhaps if we cannot win her favor, it seems to me that she is hiding something, yes?
Yes.
Perhaps we should seek what she is hiding, start digging up things on her, if you catch me. It might be good to do so. It might be good to do our research if being friendly does not pan out.
True. That's a good idea.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I think these rumors are just good storytelling for people wanting a drink.
Yes.
As people drink, you know, the stories get passed along, the more they evolve.
It is just people who know nothing and just wag their tongues.
People who want attention.
I don't understand humans, so I trust you.
Hopefully, it is just gnolls, and that is all. That would be, at the very least, a simple fix. If it were to be something like Medusas or basilisks or some other stone rending, disintegrating creature, to me that sounds more complicated. I would be happy for this. I
True.
am, to be perfectly honest, to be going underground in the Niacinla Mountains is not a very attractive prospect either.
I agree.
I do not relish going back into that. At any rate. Yes, I will retire and begin walking back to the gnome funhouse Chuck E. Cheese that we're staying at.
changing the name of the Sleeping Lamp Tavern to Gnome Chuck E. Cheese Tavern.
So it seems.
Well, each of you have purchased a room, and some bunking with others, but if there's anything else you all wish to talk about or take care of before we get out of here tonight, please feel free.
So I don't sleep. So I don't sleep tonight either.
So I'll just be up all night working on my. I'll probably be with Krev so that he can be like locked up in the cabinet or whatever, or the I don't know, the dresser.
Dresser, get it right.
Sorry, it's so many. There's so many bedrooms that you could possibly be using.
I mean, technically dresser, nightstand, both work.
Well, I'm going to be doing a little bit of work on my new bow. I half sleep, I guess.
So, what I was going to say actually, Trace, is that the main work that you need for your bow at this point is just your jewel crafting part that you had Kadir help with previously.
Oh, right.
That is the only thing left needed after you string the bow, and with this cold pine longbow that you've created, just needing its final piece for the arrows to sit upon is the only thing that you need to do. Kadir,
Oh.
with your quarterstaff, it will take
Oh.
3 days of time, so that will be 24 hours of work in total.
I'm going to go to Kadir. No, once more. Kadir?
Yes, good friend.
I'm not very proficient in the dual crafter thing, but I'm a wonderfully good wood carver. So I was wondering, how about we switch tasks? You do the dual crafting on my bow, and I do the wood carving on your staff.
I do not. I am attempting to make, how you say, a magical staff for casting. I do not believe you would know how to do that, my friend.
Oh, I would not. But I will require your assistance at some point with the last part of my bow, if you have time.
About how long would this take?
I don't know. Kyle knows.
Oh, the jewel. I was just about to ask the jewel or the staff itself. But the jewel will take you. Roughly the same amount of time, 6 to 8 hours that the other one did.
Okay.
You have a little bit better of an idea reducing the DC. You've only kind of worked with it for like 1 day, so.
Is there any work that he can do on my staff that we can kind of trade off?
Yeah, he can make the staff for you. We'll go into a bit more detail of like the crafting aspect off stream.
Okay. In that case, perhaps we should be sharing, since we'll be up all night anyhow. Perhaps we should be sharing a room then.
Yes, well, I'm Elvin. I don't really sleep, but I need to relax for 4 hours at some point.
Well enough. So yeah, no, I'll do his gem, and he'll do, I guess, 4 hours of my staff.
All right.
Sweet.
So each of you give me those checks: a jewel crafting from Kadir and the woodworking from Trace.
Good.
I rolled well.
You didn't. Neither did I. Jesus Christ.
Nice.
We both suck.
Okay. So. Well, you know what? I'm gonna save this for the next time we play, and Trace, I'll let you know how well your longbow turned out, but I will tell you it is better than your previous one. So that is a good roll. Or good crafting on that. And for the staff, you've gotten some of the whittling down and just needing more time.
Okay.
I got more spare wood if it's crap anyway, so it's good.
I'm guessing most of your rolls were good.
His rolls in total were a 14, 22, 24, 24, and then a 10 on the jewel.
Oh, shit.
10 is still average, right? So we're good.
There's no fail, but there's like certain DCs that you can meet to make it that +1 or a +2 kind of thing.
Right.
Got it.
But nonetheless, with each of you at this point taking care of some individual tasks and laying down your heads for those that do need sleep like a normal person. Krev, if you are still in the room with them, you'll just have to, I guess, deal with the noise until you pass out. But the rest of you finding it quite nice. Nice soft bed to lay in, quite comfortable. All normal sizes, nothing of a gnomish size in these rooms, and fall fast asleep.
So I guess that means that Rekid was rooming with Jeeves. I have to know. Did any, like gnomes like break in through the window in the middle of the night or anything?
What I will say from what I rolled is, Rekid, you have the room to yourself for the night.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
We're gonna wake up to like a crime scene in the morning, and Jeeves like committed murder, like
It's
a serial.
There's 4 gnomes strung up.
But with that, next week, I am under the assumption that we're taking off due to Thanksgiving. I know
Oh yeah.
Krev will be out of town. Well, in town,
In your town.
in town for me, but out of town for you guys. But that was my assumption. So I anticipate having next week off. If anything changes, then I guess we'll be here. If not, then we will pick back up on what would be December 3rd.
All
Nice.
right.
Oh my god. We need to have a Christmas themed episode.
Well, on the 16th will be my birthday. So,
Ooh.
I'll
That'd
be
be
playing
Wednesday.
I'll be playing Tomb of Annihilation for that day, if I even play. But yeah, Christmas episode or a theme thing sounds like a cool idea. You guys are gonna have to go up north to find some snow, though.
Yeah, I mean in April or May or whatever month we are, yeah.
Well, to be fair, we just saw a red fox, right? We need to get that red fox and slaughter it to use its skin to make a hat.
Oh gosh,
I liked the fox.
the fox liked you, Krev.
Ethan.
Anyone have anything to shout out before we get out of here?
Nope.
No.
Just
Thank
the usual. Game tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. The Raven's Nest.
All right, and I just want to give a quick shout out to what classes are going to be on Team 1. So, for all of you in chat. Anyways, thank you for that, Krev. For that tomorrow night for the Raven's Nest thing. But hope everyone enjoyed tonight. I know tonight was definitely RP filled, to say the least. But you all were presented with quite a few of issues that each of you picked up on quite well. I'll just say that. But nonetheless, the logo that you see here, done by Lady Loxer, and the art, I had a little sneak peek of what yours looks like, Kadir, and it looks
Sick.
I think that is a good term for it. Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait.
But nonetheless, the rest will begin to have their art coming out momentarily for Business and Lahles. From again, Lady Loxer. You can find her Instagram link down below. 2-minute tabletops for the map and map assets that we saw tonight. Heroes Wanted Discord channel along with Ninja Monkey Discord channel, and Sword Coast Soundscapes for the ambiance music. Again, tomorrow night, the Raven's Nest, and in a little bit, I'm actually gonna play some Baldur's Gate 3 since I am actually on PTO as of when I clocked out of work today.
Hi. Congrats.
Nice.
Yes, I was told that I need to use it or I'm going to lose it. And then when I checked on how much PTO I had, I was like, oh fuck, you ain't gonna get that for free.
Yeah. Do they let you sell back PTO for money?
Fuck no.
That sucks.
Anyways, have a good night, everybody.
Night
Night.
night.
Thanks for watching. Take care, y'all.